we saw no, there are some regions here. This is a project navigator region. Okay. You will work on some project. The project I'll tell you. So screen wise, the regions are like this. This is a project navigator region, what you're seeing on the left. Simply, a project is a folder where your development is. Okay. I got C infosure dev / PR6 as a folder here on the desktop. Okay. On the Explorer, if you go to dev, I created one folder, and you create a folder here to start off with. Okay. An empty folder. The PR6 is here. So step one is I create this folder and come here and point the project to that folder. That means all of that development files which I'm using will be in that folder. Okay. So if I open it here, you'll see one main.py. That's all it's there. It's a main.py, much like we did hello.py, right? So that's how it is. So project, each folder is becoming a project here. You don't have to do anything on this. Okay. This allows me to see various files. Okay. I can click, and this region where our editor is will show the code. See, the name of the file is here and the code is inside. Now, for the sake of going to another file, I can click the tabs run parallel horizontally like that. This is another file, book return.html, and this HTML file. So all your files will be here and under folders and subfolders like that. And when you double click here, it'll open and I'll show you. I close this here. Suppose I double click here, it'll open like that. This is code. This is your Python code. Okay. So, okay. So this menu will open out like that. Initially, it looks like a hamburger menu. Okay. And then it'll open out like that. This is a menu. This is project navigator. This is editor, code editor. And this is your terminal. Okay. The terminal is this icon. Okay. I click on terminal. Yeah. Terminal here means the command, the C drive. Okay. Where we did the DOS command prompt, that is this whole thing here at the bottom. So everything is in one interface. Okay. This is the DOS command prompt. It'll come, the C drive will come. It's taking some time. Okay. And all the current activities you can see at the bottom, like if it's what it is doing and all that. This is 3.12 version of Python. Okay. And see here it came dev, infosure dev p6. Okay. That is the same folder. Now, screen regions are like this. Now, if you are running a program, this is the run that main.py. Okay. So project has a couple of files. The main file is the main Python file. I click here and run this, and then the output will come. Okay. So right now I'm not doing anything. I'm not running anything. Let me go to click on the file menu. A little bit of where is what need to be understood. Come file menu, settings, new project, like that. So opening a recent project is there. I can go to any of the projects like that. Each of which is one project, is one subfolder in my development. Okay. Meaning in your desktop here, under File Explorer, under development, whatever I have is one separate project. Okay. And that's what this project will point to. The IDE will point to as a project. Now I go to click on the file, click on new project. Okay, let's click on new project. It will come up with a dialog like this screen where the location of the project should be. It's asking. So then I can say PY, any name you can give, PY7. Okay, PY7, I can locate it. PY7 is not there currently. You have to first create the PY7 here. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay, let's create PY7 here. Click this new PY7. Okay, and I just select that folder. So this into node. Select folder. Okay, PY7. This is the folder where the contents of my project will be. Now out here in this project dialog, here is version. Look, this is the exe. This is the interpreter. Okay, you have just installed it, so it is required to point to where the exe file. The exe file is the interpreter. Okay, for other interpreters are also possible. Okay, that means you can work with the previous project version, 2.7 of Python language version. Any versions you can work with. Okay, so current one is default, the recent one which we installed. So this is there, which you're choosing what is the version of Python you're going to work. And that is pure Python. This is when you use Django. And other files are when you work with JavaScript and all that, because in some cases they realize that you will have to write some HTML like that. Okay, so all that is there. If you're working with Django project, that is what it is here. So it gives you a template approach, but the default here is pure Python. Okay, so now these settings don't need to. Here at the bottom right side, you'll see a create. If I click create, it's going to pop up saying open that project. Project can be either open or that, replace the project, the current window. Do you want this current window to be replaced, this contents and all that, replace with this when you choose this window. Okay, the default you choose, then it will just rewrite the screen with the new project folder. Okay, That's all, because I've not written any code, anything, nothing comes up here. And also the bottom region is as it is. Now I will create one main.py. Okay. Right click here. Right mouse click brings a pop-up. I can say new Python file. Okay. I can create any type of file, HTML file, all the other, some common options are there. But default here, Python file. And I name the file main.py. I can give any name, but in this case, I'm giving main.py and enter. So this editor came up, you see, and the file is sitting here now under my project. Okay. So this you can say print. This is our editor. Huh? So no more what is that? No more Sublime text, but you can use it. Either of this you feel comfortable. Okay. So this one is run here. That python.exe and the file main.py. Okay. It says no. How come it went to 310? No Python at 310. I think script here at a default of 310. Now that's when your settings, there is under file, go to settings, because the interpreter was 314exe, it should have used. Okay, that's how the project was created. So I'm double checking whether the project is having the correct exe location. So I go to settings, a new dialog box opens, and inside it, yeah, here Python interpreter. Okay, interpreter is pointing to 310 somehow. So I can switch here and choose the latest interpreter, which is 314. We created in 314. So I don't see that interpreter. So I can from the IDE point to the new interpreter. Okay, add local 314. Okay, now 314. Now what is the virtual environment, you might ask? Virtual environment is going to have a specialized interpreter for this project alone. That means under Py7 there will be .venv5. So this is already contained. Select this interpreter. So that means under .venv, it creates for this project alone a Python 3.14 version like that. That's called a virtual environment. Virtual environment allows you to give a dedicated interpreter for that project. Okay. Suppose any dependencies are there. This virtual environment will manage all that dependency. Dependency means if one module has to depend on another module, everything will be managed by this virtual environment. So I'm choosing this virtual environment. See, there are two things here. One, Python.exe is one, but for this project alone, I am running under Py7.venv Python exe. This is some flexibility. Okay, that means 314 I can have, or I want to switch to 310. That also is possible, specific. So that's the flexibility given by a virtual environment. So I choose that. This interpreter will now change to 314. Okay. Now it changed. Okay. Simply put, one project will have an interpreter, and these are some packages I have to inside this project I can add by clicking this plus. Okay, I click on this plus. Then there is no. When there's a list of available package in the Python language, it searches from pypi.org. Earlier, we went to a website where you could search the name of the package. This is the same by saying, let's say, none to words here. Now, instead of doing a specialized pip and all that, I can search this. It will show up here, searching, and I can choose specific version, click install package. So this, what it is doing is going to do a pip install of this package to my current project. Okay, so no more command pip install, and you can do so, but this is how from the settings you can do. So when the installation completes, you click the install package. Normally at the bottom it would show, but give it some time. It should have completed the installation. Earlier it used to show that. See, so pip got installed. Okay. Pip, it's the number words, right? But pip itself has to be first installed. There is a version which is currently here, but the latest version of pip module itself has to be upgraded. So I go back, double clicking this. Okay, the pip is in blue here. I click here once, specify version, install package. That means what it is doing is we are bringing to the latest 2025.3 version or 25.3 version in this environment. Some of these might be in the older versions, so you can bring it to the latest version. Okay. Now it used to respond here saying package installed. I don't see that in this. Okay. Let me close that.
Hello, sir. Sir? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Come down.
Hello, sir. I can't hear you.
Tools. Yeah, I can hear you now. Because,
Okay,
okay.
I didn't hear you from the past part.
Packages here. Okay, because installation pulls packages, the network went a little. See, now you see num2words is installed. Okay, this is the latest in out there in the Python pypi.org. This is the version in your current project. Pip has to be brought up to the current version. So what you do is again go in. The highlighted one is always in blue. Click one there and specify all the other versions are here, but specific latest version I want to install. So I click install again.
Okay.
There could be a network low, but when it is, yeah, I've seen that happen because it pulls so many things through the network, and over Zoom it could go down.
Okay.
One more package is required called setup tools. So pip and setup tools should be the latest. Setup tools is here, and click here. And hello. After creating project. Pardon me.
I can't hear you.
Okay. After creating project, okay. Let's say PY7. One moment.
Okay, sir.
The next step is making pip and setup tools up to date. Okay, up to date. Like that. Up to date. These two are Python modules. Okay, modules in settings. So after creating the project in settings, we will have to go to interpreter. Okay, quite simple. Step 1, you're creating a project. In step 2, you go to the settings, file settings, and choose your interpreter to the correct project Python version, Python 3.14. Right now that we did, and then the virtual environment was created and all that. This settings now Python 3.14 version of the executable. Okay, so finally you're locating the interpreter as this. Okay. After that, come back to settings. In step 3, you'll have to make sure setup tools and pip are up to date. Setup this icon, if I click no, it'll refresh the screen. These are all the packages or the modules here. Okay, so pip is now 25.3, which is the latest version out there. Setup tools also the latest version. These two are important. Okay, so that's what I put here. Pip and setup tools to be tools module packages to be up to date. Okay, so these three done, and then you can go to install num2words, whichever be the module you want. Okay, num2words, you know what it does, right? So I did that earlier. So all the modules will be seen here. The way to open the dialog is it's clicking the plus, searching all the modules. There are so many modules here. AI based, so many modules also have come in. So it's a little slower. Okay. And that's what I noticed on the latest 2025.3 version. Because so many AI packages people have put out there. It's open source, so many packages are. Now, so these three steps. Okay. Now I will run this one. The interpreter is now correct. It's running the correct. See, hello. So this is how you are running the main.py. Okay. So hello world, you got this build program. So everything you did so far in the notebook, you can do here. Okay. So for example, import from num2words, import num2words. This is okay. It has a line number here. It will do inline editing, all that. Okay. Inline editing, and then the same print. Yeah, IDE is quite simple to operate, and once you take care of the settings and all that, developers are commonly to write code. This is more convenient. Okay. Okay, the same as what we did in the command prompt. We did Python space main. Okay, but this is running the full path and the full path of the file, and you got it. Okay, so this is how you'll write programs, and all of what we did before can be tried out here. Command this one. Let's say we create a function def. Okay, add a comma b. I'm creating a function. Okay, return a plus b. Okay, so this is a function created. It's prompting. It popped up with some. See, this pop-up will come. Okay, you can choose from this. It's giving some suggestions. Okay, that's all right. Print. So you can see dynamically it's popping up. These features are not in the editors. 2,5. Okay. If I run this now, 7. Okay. all your Python code can run. You can have multiple Python files also here. Okay. And some other times you can have other HTML files and all that. So if you point to note this one, I'll just recap quickly. This is the project navigator. You create project by going to file, new project. If you want to reopen earlier open projects, recent projects, so much. Okay. Or you can do open and point to the file. Other menu aspects are settings, where we just saw the settings will open up a dialog, and the Python interpreter can point to some location. You can install the pip packages, make sure pip and setup tools are up to date. It's essential. And then required package you can install. After that is done, click OK. From here, right click on the project, new, create a Python file like main.py, any name. Okay. And then start writing code. This region is the output. You'll see the terminal, and this is your run. Okay. That's all. You can run the thing. Now, for that, to show all our classes, we create class vehicle. Okay, cool. So we did all this. Then you create a constructor and all that. All that can be done here. Okay, and then let's say self dot this is name equal to some name. Okay, so I can class vehicle name page. So like this, and name and number. So here I've got some variables here, but this is not where you write it. Let's see. Hold on. Class vehicle is there, and then you have a constructor, right? So def constructor is the first one, init, and that init itself will come here. Okay, and this is inside that. Okay, self dot name is name. So self comma name, all that name. Let me show color. Okay, color. So so this is a constructor. Okay, so this is a class created, and then I can create an object car equal to vehicle. This is V in uppercase. Okay, class is vehicle, and I can create the object here saying, let's say it's a Honda. Okay, and this one is some color. So, okay, you see, it just gave some name. The parameter also it is automatically calling. So these are coming from the PyCharm. Okay, so car. So then I can say print dot name. Let's say yes. Voilà. Like that. Okay. Let's start at saying I can print like this. Let's run this. So object is created. Run again. My Honda is what color? Okay. So like this. Okay. Some descriptive. So all of what we learned so far, this is nice. Okay. Here I've got some color, which is also much like Sublime Text, right? For that, you have to slightly do one setting here. It's called theme. Okay. In this gear, there is a theme. Okay. Theme. You can get more themes. As you shift the theme, you see the color is changing. It's all themes. Okay. So you have some high contrast, some dark, some light, some white, all that is there. Some I've chosen this theme with the Monokai theme is one. Wait, I'm not shifting too much. Monokai classic. Okay, classic. Oh, okay, I'll leave it like that. For this theme to occur, of course, this gear having this theme allowing me to shift the themes. Okay, so there is something to put in the called a plugin. Okay, it's a plugin called this Monokai color theme. It's somebody has released this. Okay, he's saying freemium. This is color theme. This is freemium. Like this, you can click, and it'll pop up. You can click install like that. So that's the idea of a plugin. Okay, if you install, it'll add on to that environment. Then on the theme color can be changed. It's all like some mobile cover skins like that. Okay, it's like that. So any of these have a plugin capability. There are so many plugins and all that. Okay, so then you add that plugin, you will have some customization capability. Okay, or specific to your task. Maybe this is prettier like that. You can use that theme. One of the common thing is this Monokai, and once it shows up, it will show up with an install. You can click, then this theme will come. These are some cosmetic things, but a good part is it will leave a nice color scheme in your editor. Okay, so which I've already taken. So this is how you can run program. I will now switch to one other project which I've already done. Okay, what we can see here is FL2. This is, though we're not gone into frameworks, this is more code, but this is how I want to show you how you will build screens, because this part of it is in the advanced one. I'm just pulling up to show a project will look like. You see there are subfolders and there are a couple of HTMLs. Okay, the Python and HTML together will be used. Okay, this is a Flask based project, and if I run this, okay, app.py is my main. Okay, and I run this, so it is running. Okay, Python and app.py. It will show up. A server will start for the developer. Okay, and then server will allow me to go open the browser and running the button here. You can see some. So a development server, which is for development purpose, has started, and this is my local host 5000. It's available on the port. So then I open it in my browser, Chrome browser.
Okay.
This is all Flask-based development for web application. See, a simple application is created here. So here, this is my to-do list. I could add some new tasks like read some books. Okay, read a book, something like that. Add task like that. It went up. To build all this is a web-based application development. This is what possible with frameworks like Flask and Django. This one is Flask, and you can click, let's say, update, and some update, and that changed it. So I can delete it. This added, it's a to-do list. Okay, so things like this. This is our HTML input text. This is a button. This is some HTML to build a table. All that we've read the HTML. Okay, but this put together is written with Flask-based development. Okay, and it's a to-do list. So if I come back here, I will start the server. The server did a HTTP get, all that. Okay, so the HTTP get, get and post. Post is when I added that read book, and then it went again, did a get to refresh it. All that is happening behind the scenes. HTML, HTTP methods are firing get and post. Okay, and again when I deleted it, this one, see the route, the URL update, all that endpoints are happening. Now, okay, this is one project. I close that project and it is shut down, exited. Control C. Okay, it's exited. Let me show another one where this is PR6. Rewrite the screen. It will open a new project PR6. In this case, this is an API. Okay, it's a project under this folder. Quite simple. Okay, there is a couple of things here. I can, the storyline goes like this. There is this library in the college, and you are creating one a library with the application is going to have some book and author. The title of the book is in which subject, author, like that. Okay, and that will create a model in the background. See, earlier example, we saw the vehicle was a model and the car was the object, right? So there is an API for APIs. We have two things here. One, a model can be given by a library called Pydantic. So we will just use Pydantic's base model. Pydantic is a library, okay, or a package, okay, that is there. From there, we're taking base model, and that will allow me to simply create a model in a very simple step, no constructor, nothing. Class, book, okay, I inherit from the base model. I'll create my own model called book. Okay, book will have what? Book title, which is string, author, string. This easy method of defining a class without doing a constructor, without anything, it's very simple. Okay, so that's why Pydantic is popular, and it's just few lines of code. Model is created. Okay, then for the API itself, another easy method is FastAPI. This is another library. That means from FastAPI, import FastAPI. It's case sensitive here, and I create one app equal to FastAPI. That's all API is created. Okay, now once the API is created, API is an app which will have, now I'm using a variable called library, have my JSON. Okay, that's between brackets, key values, title and book. Title and author are as per the model, title and author. Because think of it like I have somewhere 2 columns and a book. Okay, the library can record these two. And now the API will have to do what? I'm starting with one book in the library. It's up to, we can keep it empty, but I just keep that book. Now, by FastAPI allows me to have a function get books, and I return the library. That means the whole JSON will come back. Okay. And this get books will have to have a decorator. Back then, a decorator class we learned at cake sprinkling at like that, right? Like that. So then we're using at app. The app from FastAPI has a get and will allow me to have an endpoint called /books. This is a decorator on get books. So this is commonly known as the route. That means from your browser, when you do the endpoint, it will fetch all the books in the library. This is simple, right? Get books function is tied to the route like this. Okay, and how you tie it is with a decorator. What does it return? Returns a library. Okay, now that's for the HTTP get. Now for the post, at app.post, and I'll have another endpoint called add book. Okay, my function is add book. It takes book, which is my object, which I'm adding. Now, where does this come from? It's of the type the model. Type the model book. Model is book. So book colon book. Okay. And the second book is uppercase. Then I'm doing to that library. This is a function. Append. List functions we have seen. This is in this case we are appending to this default is a list of a dictionary. Okay, the library is my library. It will be an object which will hold all the books. To this list, I'm adding another dictionary. Are you getting the second book?
Okay.
Is list library.append and flower bracket here, title, book.title. Add books when I call with two fields, that book whole object is coming in, and I'm setting book.title, book.author. So this will add my new book and then return that message. The book is added, this book is added. So that's all to it. The get and the post is done. But with FastAPI, very easy to, not only that simple to create an API, it also comes with what's called a testing of that endpoint can be done with what's called Swagger. Testing that API, you don't need anything like a Postman or any of what we saw. Out of the box, it will give you one endpoint where I can have an ability to test. I'll show you. Okay, this endpoint will be there. So that means the get and the post, I can test it as well. So that's the benefit of using FastAPI. So quite simply, once again, model no longer from scratch from Pydantic, by inheriting from a parent model called base model. Then the book model is just simple. You have to tell like this: title colon string, author colon string. Let's say book number colon int, like that. Some notation is there. That's all. But this is the simplest way of defining the model. Step 2 is from FastAPI, import FastAPI, code a function for the post, code a function for the get. Okay, one for the get for all the books, returns the library and tables. The other one will take from our Swagger endpoint, we'll pass this book, the fields, like a dictionary, and it will go in and add to the library. So I hope it's not too much, but this is a code which is in this project. Now what I'll do is I'll just show you how this runs. Okay, run this project. Other thing which I have not mentioned is how does a server come up now? There is one more module which has been installed called Uvicorn. UVI, yeah, Uvicorn, UVICORN. What it does is it will run and give me
Okay.
say Uvicorn reload. Now the application is started. Okay, now I right click here. I can choose open Chrome. Let me close this. Now what will say? I do the endpoint. We have got books. See, this book came. Okay, that means it's serving my JSON. Okay, the books. Further, the point here is docs. If I go to docs, I can get an interface readily with FastAPI, which will allow me to test, get books, try it out, execute. It runs the endpoint. This is the endpoint with 8000 port. It returns the response. So things are fast. It did the HTTP request of this endpoint with /books, return the existing book in the library. This is a get which you have tested just now. Okay. If I go to test the post, so this testing is not from any other tool. It's available with FastAPI itself called Swagger. This testing interface is called Swagger. So if I do now try it out, if I click, it will allow me to send a certain book. I'm adding a book now. Okay, so let's say I'm giving some name, title of the book, some maths, and let's say NCERT, something like that. And then I say execute. So when I execute here, it did this endpoint, add book, and then the response body came that book added to the library maths NCERT. Okay, so that means that server now has my added book which I did a post with, right? I re-execute the get books endpoint. You'll see now there are 2 books in the library.
Basics and max.
So this way, quite quickly in no time, you can create your own API for whatever be your requirement and deploy it. And you need the Uvicorn to test for the development. You see the get and post, all that is fine. Get is right there, add book went there, all that is nice. Okay. So that is how you will build your own API. Okay. So for this libraries, I mean the package use is FastAPI, Pydantic, and Uvicorn. Uvicorn to serve the HTTP API because as a server, Pydantic to create the model, and FastAPI to create an API so easily. Okay. So these are running with the 3.12 version, but with 3.14 this can be done as well. I'll wrap it up here.